So about a year ago, I started this YouTube channel. I had done the research, I bought the gear, I'd learned to edit, I had memorized every single line from every major TV series of the last 30 years.
That seems unlikely.
And fully expecting to get at least 100,000 views on my first video and turn into Christianity's sarcastic version of Mr. Beast, hit upload. And well, yeah, that didn't quite happen. So we're at the start of this year and 1 year into the channel as well, and it's kind of one of those points where I'm assessing things, where things are going, what I'm planning to do. Now, given slightly more realistic expectations, the niche that I'm in, and the fact that every video for the first few months was dark and green for some reason, well, the channel's gone, let's say, resoundingly fine. It's done reasonably well without being some sort of massive hit. Let me start this video though by talking about what is somewhat confusing me right now. Obviously, I didn't get into this channel purely for the views. If I was just chasing views, I would do silly challenges, world's biggest bean bath or whatever, something like that. No, of course I care about the subject matter primarily, and I'm not going to violate that just for clicks. The aim, however, with this channel was to get those views out there. I don't view myself in any way as some sort of genius intellect. Nobody else does either. But I do see my role in this sphere as being, say, potentially a popularizer. And with that in mind, one of the things that it requires to be a popularizer is that the videos would in fact be popular. And with that in mind, well, there are a couple of head-scratching moments. So head-scratching moment one was the first video that really took off here on YouTube. It was on the trans issue, and it started off going nowhere and then suddenly got like 90,000 views. I had people texting me, people saying that's amazing, well done. And I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, this is the channel taking off, and I've proven the concept. And instead, well, right after that, it completely died. Like, everything went back exactly to where it was before. A few hundred views, nobody seeing any of the videos, nobody watching any of them. So that was head-scratching moment one. Head-scratching moment two was whenever I started posting videos on Twitter or X. Let's call it Twitter, because that's what everybody calls it. Well, I had some videos pop off on there. I had one on cultural Christianity, which got me in some trouble. I had one on the gospel-centered movement that also got me into trouble. And then I had one on mass immigration, which, wouldn't you know it, got me into some trouble.
Naughty, naughty.
Those videos all did extremely well on Twitter. What's weird though is that they didn't do particularly well on YouTube. So I have these videos popping off on one platform, not going anywhere on the other platform. Really hard to understand, don't really know why. Now, all that said, I'm still very encouraged, and I'm encouraged in one big way in particular. Look, obviously a channel with 5,700 subscribers at this point and a couple of thousand over on Twitter, well, it's not big, right? It's not big by YouTube standards, it's not even big by Christian YouTube standards, but it is by, let's say, UK Christian standards, relatively successful, and by Northern Irish Christian standards, yeah, it's actually a reasonably big channel. Like, it actually is making a bit of an impact here. I fully acknowledge, by the way, that that is a very small pond, but it is my pond, and it is also the pond that I am most interested in affecting. When I was starting this channel, one of the things that I really wanted to do was make an impact in Northern Ireland. Now, I don't think that it would have been possible to do that by simply, say, becoming a local focused channel. I think we're part of the global Christian sphere, we're part of the Anglo sphere, there's a lot going out there that affects us, so I haven't narrowed it down to simply talking about things that are going on in the Northern Irish scene. But I absolutely wanted to impact that scene more than I'm interested in impacting any other scene. If you're from elsewhere, I'm very glad that you're watching. If you're from Northern Ireland though, I am like triply glad that you're watching, because that's something I can actually influence.
Appreciate you.
I'm not going to be the biggest YouTuber in the world. I'm not going to transform America, but can I make a dent in Northern Ireland? Yeah, I think I can. And I'm starting to see that people here are watching it. Many are doing it under the covers at night without any permission from any official sources, but they're tuning in. They're letting me know that they're tuning in, or they're letting people I know that they're tuning in, or they're letting people who know that I know that they know that they're tuning in. Not that last one, I don't think that even made sense, but you get the gist. So in spite of those various head-scratching moments, I'm actually really encouraged that it's doing the thing that I wanted it to do when I started it. Now, that said, I've got a few goals for the next year. I would like to see the channel advance and develop pretty significantly. I'm happy enough with where it's gone, but I'd like to see more. So here's what I'm hoping for. Number one is consistency. I would like videos to be consistently performing. So not big hit, big miss, big hit, big miss, but like regular audience tuning in and taking on board the ideas that I'm putting out there. My ultimate stretch faith target for this year would be to 10x the channel. I think that this channel could get to 50,000 subscribers. I think it could get there in a year. I don't know that it will, but there's a chance if the algorithm hits right, if I make some tweaks. I think that could happen. I think we could possibly get to 20,000 on Twitter. I'd have to do a lot more work in terms of actually tweeting. That is a big downside. I don't do a lot of tweeting, but if I worked on that, pretty sure that it could go there. Also, I'd like to get to 1 million views on YouTube this year. I'm sitting about 170,000. Again, after a year, that's pretty good. Only 60 something videos that have done that, right? So I think when I look at the videos, I'm like, well, I think 10 times as many people could watch that. I think is a valid video for that many people. So I'd like to see that happen. And also financially, I'd like to see it more sustainable. So I've been really blessed by a small number of regular supporters and then some big donors who have helped me do some of the bigger projects. For instance, laptop was covered, renovating this space so that it's more soundproof. I know you can hear massive building works going on. They're shaking our entire house. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we're soundproof and we're warm. Really blessed to do that. But what I'd like to see would be people in Northern Ireland in particular who are being blessed by this content, giving to it on a regular basis and more of them so that I can justify the day a week that I'm putting into it, and potentially one day maybe get an editor so that I can do more content without increasing my personal workload. That would be the sort of dream.
But dreams do come true.
And the aim for this channel, the Big Hairy Audacious Goal, is to make it the best place on YouTube for concise, engaging, countercultural Christian content that's also slightly witty in Northern Ireland / the world, but mainly Northern Ireland. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully we're getting there. So what am I going to tweak? Well, here's a few things, right? I actually want to produce less content that performs better. That's what I'm going to try this year. If that doesn't work, next year, 2025, it'll be more content that performs worse. No, I don't want to do more content that performs worse. I haven't thought through this sentence. I want to make slightly less content this year, but I want that content to perform better. That's what I'm trying to do. So rather than pumping out a video every week or going even slightly above that at times, I'm going to release a video every 2 weeks that I'm aiming will be a better video than the ones I was releasing every week. I want the editing to get better. I want the quality of the research to get better. And the big thing that I really think can be improved significantly would be topic selection and positioning videos well. I want these videos to be not just engaging, but helpful. I think that's where I've maybe fallen down a little bit. They're not practical enough. I would like them to be practical as well as engaging. So I'm going to really work on trying to get the topic exactly right so that it can bless and help as many people as possible. It'll also allow me to do a couple of other things. I feel like my prayer life suffered last year. Don't want to do that again. I feel like my health suffered a bit last year. Don't want to do that again. I also am hoping to write 2 books in this year.
Ambitious, beautiful.
Now, one of them I'm writing half of a book, and the other one is a book of fairy tales for boys, because my son is getting into fairy tales and I thought I'd write some. So those are not massive book projects, but I do need a little bit of space in the calendar to do that. And so my hope this year is very simple. 26 videos that are really good. That's it. I want to release 26 videos that I would say those are great videos. If I can do that, if they're positioned well, I think this channel can continue to grow and make an impact. Them's the plans. Thank you so much for supporting so far. Thank you for those who are continuing to do so. If, of course, you would like to support this channel, particularly if you're from Northern Ireland, feel free to do so on Patreon or PayPal or buy something from wearecontramundum.com. I'm hoping this channel is a blessing, that it edifies you in your faith this year, and if it does that for you, I'm hoping it does it for lots of other people as well. So looking forward to this journey in 2024 together. Peace.